congruency method or criteria or postulate do you think would work for this one?
What?
That's different, right?
That's parallel.
That's perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Parallel is two lines that never intersect. Okay, so what do perpendicular lines tell us? Like, what does it imply? If I told you, and I'm telling you, it's given that SD is perpendicular to HT. That's a nice try. You said cut in half, but cut in half means they got bisected. I know when we constructed a perpendicular line, it was also a bisector. Not the case if they just tell you it's perpendicular. If SD, which is this line, is perpendicular to HT, which is that line, that means that they form right angles right here. Because it's given. What does that imply? It implies that angle SDH, right, that's this one over here. And, notice I'm not saying congruent, I'm saying the word and. I see a lot of mistakes there. And what's the other angle? SDT are right angles. But remember, if you say something, you have to give a reason. Why? Write the if and then you tell me the then, right? So if two lines are perpendicular,
Then they form a right angle.
then they form right, I'm not going to say a right angle, I'm just going to say they form right angles, plural, because, if two lines are perpendicular, you have right angles in 4 places. Right? Yeah, okay. So now that we know that we have right angles, okay, we still didn't even answer the first thing I wanted us to answer. Why are the two triangles congruent? By which postulate?
This is it.
It's coming to this hypotenuse.
And the leg.
And then any other sides are legs, right? So we could, instead of calling that a side, we could call it a leg. So the two triangles are congruent by HL, hypotenuse leg. Alright. So the two lines are perpendicular, which means that we have right angles. And if we have right angles, then what do we have? Right triangles. Right? Remember, you always have to be clear. You have to say that we have right triangles. Right? In fact, when we first started this problem, many of you were confused by what this really meant, right? So you always have to lead there. It means that we have right triangles. So let's say that triangle SHD. And please notice again, I'm using the word and. Right? Some of you are writing the congruent symbol there. HL. I need a statement that tells me two sides are congruent, which are the hypotenuse, and two sides are congruent for the leg. Right? So somehow I need to make sure and say that somewhere. Right? If a triangle has a right angle, then it is a right triangle. Alright, so just remember, every time you say something, you have to give a reason. I'm going to put a little bullet by the statement and then a little bullet for the reason. Statement, reason. Okay, great. You have to say this first. Now that we know that it's a right triangle, now we could call this a hypotenuse. If you don't say it's a right triangle, we can't use the word hypotenuse because hypotenuse only goes with right triangles. SH is congruent to ST because it's given, right? That's a given thing. But now I could call that the hypotenuse statement, right? And what about the leg? The leg is, I'm going to try to write it over here. SD is congruent to itself. Reflexive property. And that is why we could call that a leg. I'm going to make this arrow a little bit longer. So guess what? I have my hypotenuse, I have my leg. I said they're congruent. We're done. We just have to write the thing that we wanted to prove right here. Triangle SHD is congruent to triangle STD. Because the hypotenuse and the leg in each of them are congruent.